And we are live. Hello, my friends. My name is Evelyn Joy, and welcome back to my channel. I've made quite a few videos giving a voice to the people who are able to share little clips and videos of what's going on. So by sharing a lot of different video clips from different people, we're getting an overview of what the boots on the ground is looking like. We're hearing about organizations we can donate to that are trustworthy. We're hearing about what's actually going on, what the people are actually observing, and we're even seeing some clips of what is happening, right? Some of it is positive and uplifting. It's neighbors helping neighbors. It's people getting out and getting their hands dirty, helping one another. It's people who are stranded, looking out for their neighbors who have even more need than them, cooking meals for neighbors, sharing water with neighbors, looking out for each other, clearing roads, volunteers, people coming from nearby states or nearby cities to help out. And we're also seeing how our government is not stepping up in the way that we wish that they would, right? We're also seeing how there's a lot of censorship going on online about that. Anyway, enough of me talking. I'm in a state where I'm not close enough that I can help that much, but I have this platform, which is my YouTube channel. I'm able to pray. I'm able to donate what little I have whenever I have my paydays, right? I can donate some. But I feel like this platform is something I can giving a voice to the people of what's going on. But first, this afternoon, right now, it's 1:20 p.m. on Wednesday. Hurricane Milton is set to arrive in Florida at 4 p.m. And we are hearing, unfortunately, that people that are on first floor in flood zones will get flooded out. But there are people who don't have gas, who don't have out of town family, who don't have anywhere to go. Housing is so expensive. People don't have savings. So what they have, their little home they have, is all they can afford. Anyway, enough of me talking. We're going to say a prayer for these people, and then we're going to dive into hearing the testimonials of what is going on. Dear Lord, I want to lift up to you all of the people in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, anybody affected by Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Milton. I pray, Lord, for peace. I pray for provision. I pray for protection, Lord. I pray you would be the calm in our storm. I pray you would bring neighbors together to help neighbors, help people to reach out to those who have lost loved ones. Bring encouragement, bring love where there is loss, Lord. And I pray, Lord, as Hurricane Milton comes closer, I pray for protection, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, well, let's dive right in. And we're going to see what the people have to say. All right, let's go.
Hey friends, it's your Western North Carolina relief update, and I want to just give you some real information and also dispel a couple of things that you're hearing about. So this might take us a minute, so buckle up. First thing you should know, in Cabarrus County, where I'm located, we are still collecting supplies at the Cabarrus Visitors and Convention Bureau with trucks that were donated by the shoe show. So yes, you should go to a shoe show to thank them by buying your shoes there, and with volunteer efforts. What we're collecting, the list is on my website. We're still collecting those items. You should know we've moved into some clothing items because temperatures are expected to drop next week. So the folks who've lost everything are now going to face 30-degree temperatures. Great. Here's what we need: coats, blankets, socks, underwear, sweat clothes. Do not bring me your old janky clothes. I want new stuff, because the people that have been through all of this at least deserve clean, new items. Only exception I would make is like kid coats, because kids don't wear them out. And so if you bring stuff to us, it better be clean. It better not have stains and holes. And don't you try to use us as your goodwill. This is where you drop off things that are going to go to families in need. Okay, rant over. Now, the second thing you should know about relief, what we're collecting right now, some of the small loads are going up in strategic areas. Some are not, because many of our sites are overrun with things, because y'all are generous. You are a generous people. The American people know how to show up, and you have shown up. However, the warehouses we would normally use, underwater, can't get to them. The roads are a disaster zone. We can't get everywhere. So the places we can get to are getting overrun. We need to give it a couple of days and let the volunteers get it organized and get it out into hands. Every day, families are being served right now. And if you know of somebody who has not gotten to a distribution center, then you just need to reach out to your local volunteer fire department. They can help. And so your volunteer fire department, you guys, you are the eyes and ears of the community. So that's why we ask for non-perishable things, so we can give a couple of days before we run the next load up. Now, on the internet, you're hearing about trucks being kept away. Here is why they're being kept away in most areas. Our roads can't handle this, y'all. There are certain routes that can handle big trucks. There are other roads that are gone. And so that's why if you ask me about a trailer load, I'm going to ask you what your truck type is, and I'm going to ask you what it is you're carrying, because we have to be thoughtful. This is the North Carolina mountains. We are not talking about the Great Plains where everything is flat and accessible. We're talking about roads that were carved out of mountainsides by pioneers a long time ago, and they're gone. So we have a ton of infrastructure work that's necessary before we can get to some of these areas. We are still doing airlifts, and there are great people doing great work, helicopters and pilots that are running as many missions as they can, and we're so grateful. So just give it a second before you run wild with a conspiracy theory on the internet. Some of this has facts behind it. Not all of it, but some of it. All right. I also want you to know this. There is a question about real estate. You are hearing about land grabs of real estate in the North Carolina mountains all over the internet. I want you to know that North Carolina has a fantastic state constitution. Our state constitution prohibits illegal takings. There is strong protection for any landowner or property owner in North Carolina. So if you know somebody or you are somebody, just let them know the Constitution protects them. However, there will be sleazeballs and scammers and fly-by-night people that will scooch up in there and slide into your DMs and say, hey, your land ain't worth nothing, sell it to me for cheap. Here's my suggestion. If you own land in North Carolina mountains, or if you know somebody who does, tell them that if they get a text that says, hey, you want to sell your property? Delete that. Those are just bought lists, and call somebody first. You can call a local realtor. You can call somebody in town hall. Just call somebody to slow yourself down before you say yes, because there will be lowball buyers out there. But the most important thing we can tell each other is learn how to slow down and say no, because you don't have to say yes if somebody's trying to get your property out from under you. That's my best advice. The last thing I want to leave you with is the insurance is going to be a big problem, y'all, because most folks right now, including those of y'all that don't live in the affected areas, you don't have enough insurance for your house. If you don't increase your coverage, you don't have enough for what it would cost to rebuild it. Well, the cost to rebuild right now is still real high because labor is high and materials are scarce. So it's just going to get harder and harder to let insurance cover anything. That being said, there will be some coverage, but some folks, their policies don't cover catastrophic events like flooding. So we're going to have a lot of help as this goes forward with houses and with homeowners. You should also know that if you had flood insurance, it's a max coverage of $250,000. That barely buys you a new trailer house right now. It is not going to cover the rebuilding of a house. If you're the person online who keeps rambling about how flood insurance helps the rich, let me just tell you something. $250 is what most people rely on to get their feet back under them. And most of these affected folks did not have flood insurance because they live in the mountains. They did not expect a once in a lifetime flood. So quit harshing on people that did not expect any of this. So here's what I'm going to be thinking about. I want to know when we're going to see JP Morgan and Bank of America and the big banks that hold so much of America's wealth. When are y'all going to step up and forgive the mortgages for people whose homes are gone? Because something tells me you'd rather foreclose on a house that isn't there than give them some grace. So that's what I'd like to see. I hear Walmart stepping up. Thank you. Lowe's and Home Depot are stepping up. Thank you. Companies from all over the place. I mean, right here, Shoe Show's helping out. I want to hear from the banks. Hey, Jamie Demon, tell me I said your name wrong and show me I'm wrong by forgiving all these mortgages. What do you say?
Awesome. So that was a realtor sharing with us what kinds of things they need. They need coats They need warm clothes for winter because a lot of people, all they have right now is the shirt on their back, and 30-degree temperatures are coming. And then she was giving some realtor advice. So awesome. If you missed any of that, I'm not going to reiterate it, but you can rewind, right? Okay. Sorry, there was a little glitch in the video for a second there. Sorry about that. Okay. In Florida, here's something important to know about the gas. I've seen this more than once.
They're trying to trick us. Trying to get the hell out of Florida. They all got the pumps on, but they got fuel. They just don't want you to know it. They're trying to trick us.
So I've seen this at more than one gas station. I don't know the motivation. Maybe they don't want a craze of zillions of people in line for their gas, but why wouldn't they want to sell their gas? I don't fully understand. Maybe it becomes a dangerous situation. I don't know. But all of the gas stations have that on their gas saying that they don't have any, but people are showing like they're ripping the saran wrap off or just using it anyway, even though it has the bag on it, and they're finding out there is gas. So that's interesting. There's a lot of different videos. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do next. 1 second. Okay. Well, so anyway, that was Florida. Let's see what some other people are talking about over here.
Hold the phone, John. All right. Hey, guys. Just met Heather. She's a local here, and she has quite the story. Tell everybody what you just heard yesterday, the people in Burnsville, right?
Yes. So I'm Heather. Just met these lovely guys to get some chicken for some folks in Samaritan's Purse working on my grandparents' neighborhood that was obliterated down the street. And we have some really good friends. Shout out to Pauline and Brandon and Ian and Kim. They took a whole trailer from Charlotte and went up in Burnsville, North Carolina. This is not being talked about on the news, and it's really sad because it should be. They were the first people that they had seen, people like these guys, in this entire time. It had been 9 days. No supplies. They've not seen one government official up there. They had their neighbors' houses just completely flattened with bodies still inside of them. Some of the roads they had to stop because they couldn't drive anymore, and they were literally walking these supplies to them and trying to get some pictures to bring back so that people know, like, there's a lot of areas, including especially Burnsville, where people are not touched and no one is able to get to them. So.
And people are literally still dying.
Yeah, there's people still being rescued and traps.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work together and try to get some help up there as fast as possible. Some supplies, some volunteers, whatever it takes.
Awesome.
That's, you said Burnsville is what, 45, 50 minutes from here?
Yes. Yep. Depending on where you
By
go there.
driving.
By driving.
And then you might have to walk.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. In most areas, you're gonna have to walk to some folks.
All right.
But they'll be
Well,
so grateful. Thank you for what you're doing.
I have connections. Literally an hour ago, I made a video saying I have all these volunteers, all these supplies, and people asking me where to take it. We're going to try to get you guys connected to that location or that area and get that ball rolling today.
Awesome.
Okay? As much as we
Awesome.
can. So
Yes.
thanks for watching, guys. Share this out. Burnsville area needs help.
All right, so Burnsville needs help. They're giving you information on where you can donate, where you can volunteer. That's great to know. I'm just trying to get the information out there. Here's another gentleman sharing his boots on the ground information.
Hey, good morning, guys. So Western North Carolina update. So as we're planning the trip for this weekend to go up with the four-wheelers and side-by-sides and warm weather gear and things like that, we're coordinating with a close friend of my family who is actually there, boots on the ground already. And we're getting stories of firefighters, young firefighters, who are going up in the middle of very hard to reach places. And there are dead people up in the trees. One fireman came back from here locally and was a little messed up. He saw a dead family in the tree, and they were being eaten by a bear. the bear had scented them out and climbed the tree and just started eating. There are thousands who have washed down the ravine that are stuck in mud, dead, unidentified. There are people under mounds of sand and under roads that have collapsed. There are not enough hands and feet possible to handle any of this quickly. It's going to take years and years for these people to get a sense of any form of normality again. It's heavy being a North Carolinian. We're about 2.5, 3 hours away from there. I'm in central North Carolina. But we just have a sense, me and my buddy and some other rednecks with four-wheelers, just have a sense of duty just to go and do what we can while we can. There's some weird stuff going on in Western North Carolina. People who own property, people aren't just losing their houses. Their property lines don't exist anymore. So if you lived in the side of a mountain, and let's say you had 3 acres, and that 3 acres got completely washed all the way down to the ground, like it's gone. That's not something that you can just resurvey and go give them something that wasn't originally theirs. So what's going to happen? I have my thoughts, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but there's only so many directions this thing can go. So North Carolinians in Western North Carolina, we love you. And your neighbors here in Central North Carolina are going to continue to come help. We're going to continue to come do what we can while we can. Hold tight. Keep the faith. All you need is the faith of a mustard seed.
That's right.
You hang on to that faith because we're coming.
That's right.
We love you, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, so we've got people that are really, really suffering. And people that are trying to help. And let's see the next one. I don't have a lot more time. Let's see the next one. I only have probably time for 1 or 2 more videos, and then I got to teach a class online, and I'll make more of these videos in the future. All right, let's go.
Know who needs to hear this, but maybe we start listening to our conspiracy theory friends.
Hello.
Because some of them hadn't been wrong yet. I'm not saying that they're all right. Minor details are missing, but when it comes to fact checking, yeah, I don't know who needs to hear this, but
I get called a conspiracy theorist just for listening to people talk about what's actually going on. All right, so that was a super short one, so we're going to listen to somebody else. We've got some time. Let's go.
All right, so I just wanted to get on really quick and give you guys an update since the last time we talked. Everything is changing so fast. I'm having to start to write stuff down now, and I just want to be as transparent as possible about what we are experiencing right here in the Swannanoa Valley, a very hard-hit spot. The more you go around, you think you're hit worse, and then there's somebody else that's just right around us that is, it's devastation. Like it's just so hard to look at. You 1 second I'm crying, 1 second I'm pissed off, the other second I'm trying to help somebody. I mean, it feels like a literal war zone right now.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm just trying to tell you everything that I'm seeing and be very transparent. We have seen some federal agents around the Swannanoa area starting late last night that I've heard of, and I have seen some personally today. There are Border Patrol in the Swannanoa area along Highway 70. They're doing body recovery, and I think they're kind of guarding some of the areas where they think that there are more, from the word that I'm hearing. everywhere we've been so far, they've let us in. If we're out in ATVs or we're out in trucks trying to deliver food and get to some of these areas, they've allowed us access. We've not really ran into any personally yet, but there are some local authorities there that are kind of checking to see what you're doing up in the area. And if you have food and stuff, they'll thumbs up, let you in. Everybody has been really nice so far and helpful and kind of working together. I did just talk to a lady in an area that we went to was absolutely wiped out. The whole place is pretty much demolished. There's like 3 or 4 homes still left, barely hanging on, that they're still living in. But she did have contact with a Navy SEAL early this morning that was trying to go in there and set up a generator for that little area that's left. One thing that we are seeing is they're going around, I don't know who's doing this, but they're putting orange X's on everything that they check. So they'll have an orange X and then they'll have a 0, or there'll be somewhere else that there's an orange X and one had an 11, and that is the body count that was found inside. There's a smell around pretty much a lot of the places that you go around, especially around a lot of water near the Swannanoa River. And we also have heard of several requests for 1,000 body bags. They're asking other places to bring body bags in. So the count right now, it's completely unknown, but we are getting from really, really reliable sources that there is a request for more body bags. I wish I had some good news to tell you, but it's just devastation and destruction everywhere you go. I don't know. We're just all trying to handle it the best we can. A lot of people are staying home and just that can't deal with it, and that's okay. That everybody is grieving different. I broke down today for the first time, really, really bad, and I just let it out, and I did feel a little bit better after that. But we just got to get back to work, and we got to go. And this community is gathered around everybody so much, and we're just trying to stay so strong, and we're just fighting. This is a war right now. And we just want to get to as many people and save as many people as we can, and hope that we don't find more that didn't make it. But I don't have any good news. The only good news that I have is we have a truckload of blankets at Silverado's. If you know of somebody that needs them, or we can bring you one, or you can come to Silverado's and get blankets, the whole truckload was brought in. So that's the good news for now. I'm just going to keep updating. I'm sorry if ads keep coming up on this on the post. The Facebook just does that. I'm trying to keep these under 1 minute and 30 seconds, but they never wind up being like that because I ramble. But I love you guys. I'll keep you updated. Let's keep on the fight.
So there we have it. It's a lot like a war zone. A lot of crazy stuff's going on. There's one more video I want to share with you. Then I have to go teach a class. And this is a gentleman explaining what cloud seeding is. Now, he believes that it's not that effective. I'm not that educated on it, so let's just hear what he's got to say. Okay? Doesn't mean everything he says is correct, but he knows some of the history. Let's go.
The government can control the weather a little bit. Cloud seeding is not a new technology. It was invented in 1946. The way it works is simple. In nature, every single raindrop has a little bit of dirt at the center of it. As a matter of fact, if our atmosphere was perfectly clean, we would not have any clouds or rain at all. So someone had the brilliant idea, well, what if we dumped more particulate into the clouds? Wouldn't that give the water more places to hold on to, which would make more raindrops? The stuff they drop is not even that special. Sometimes it's just salt or dry ice. Pretty much every country has experimented with cloud seeding. China famously does it before big events to try to get the clouds to drop their rain before hitting the event. And we've tried to use it for more nefarious purposes as well. During the Vietnam War, during Operation Popeye, the US tried to basically flood out the North Vietnamese troops and make their supply routes more challenging. There's just one problem with all this. It just doesn't work.
Okay, I have to say, in Operation Popeye, 30 people died. So saying it doesn't work is a bit absurd, but let's continue.
Well, we have 80 years of research on cloud seeding at this point, and it's not hard to do. You or me could go up in a plane and just take a bunch of salt or whatever and try it out for ourselves. But at best, it has a 10 to 30% impact, and some scientists think it does nothing at all. But it's not a conspiracy. It exists in the private sector as well. This is a company you can call and have them come, do some cloud seeding above your farm or whatever. So why haven't you heard more about this stuff? Because it just doesn't work that well, basically.
All right, so his opinion is it doesn't work that well, but we've been doing it since 1940, and it was very hush-hush, and nobody knew about it at the time when they were doing it. And 30 people died in Operation Popeye, by the way, from the flooding that they caused. So can it cause flooding? Yeah, it can. But listen, there has to be a sizable cloud there already, and they just add iodine sulfur, I think it's iodine sulfur. I might be wrong, but they add junk, dust to the cloud to make it a bigger storm. So here's the deal. Hurricane Milton was going to be a much smaller storm. It was projected to be a whole lot smaller than it was going to be. And then at the last minute, it turned into this big old thing. And even Donald Trump posted, do you guys think this is 100% natural? Obviously, it started off with a natural cloud. We only know how to add to it, but it's almost election time, and people are weaponizing the weather, and they're purposefully hitting the Appalachian Mountains and Florida, coincidentally, where J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are from. Is that coincidental? Maybe it's all coincidence. Maybe it has nothing to do with lithium. Maybe nobody cloud seeded. Maybe it's just these record-breaking, ginormous hurricanes that have nothing to do with the government. Then why are they trying to cover it up and cover up the death toll and keep it all hush-hush, not talk about it on the news? Why are they trying to minimize and cover up and hide how many people have died from this? I do not know. Call me a conspiracy theorist if you want to, because all the conspiracy theorists from 2020, whole lot of those theories are coming true. Pretty much like with the Diddy stuff, a lot of the stuff is coming true that we were all crazy at the time, right? All the people were calling us QAnon. We were saying we were insane. And now it's coming out. A whole lot of that stuff was true. And I'm not a flat earther. I don't believe this earth is flat. I think that makes no sense at all. I have friends that are flat earthers, and I'm just like, agree to disagree, right? But a whole lot of that stuff, I mean, cloud seeding is not conspiracy theory. It's literally been going on since 1940, and you can research it on Google. Google's not hiding the facts of what cloud seeding is and that there's 50 or more countries that participate in it. Does it mean that our people cloud seeded to us? I don't know. But on Google itself, you can see that there's cloud seeding experimentation in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, normally, if hurricanes hit Florida or hit the East Coast, it's coming from the east, not coming from the Gulf of Mexico. That's very strange for a hurricane to form in the Gulf of Mexico, but there is cloud seeding experimentation in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm not saying that's where this originates from, but if you ask your Alexa, she'll say that it does. Alexa's telling everybody the secrets. I don't know why. All right, I'm going to read Luann's comment and then I'll be all out of time. I read that it was discovered on accident to stop the storm, and it did the opposite. Now it's a weapon. Yep. Thanks for telling me that, Luann. Yeah, experimentation, that's how we discover all sorts of things. Well, I have to go teach a Spanish class. That's pretty much all the videos I wanted to show you guys for now. As I come across more, Hurricane Milton's going to be hitting today. So I'm going to say another prayer because these people need prayed up. I've been seeing lots of videos of there's no gas. People want to stay for their 5 cats or because of their horses, but people are staying in because they have nowhere to go because the airports, no airplanes are taking off and people are at the airport. The flooding, we hope that what they're predicting is not true, but they're predicting that anybody in a flood zone that has only a 1-story home, their home is not going to be there anymore. And so people are staying that should not be staying, but they feel they have no other option. So we're going to say a prayer. Dear Lord, I want to pray for the people of Florida, the people of Georgia, the people of South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, any person affected by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Lord, I pray for protection. I pray for provision. I pray that you would miraculously calm the storm, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to. Thank you.